Meta AI has just launched the third version of the Llama series of models called the Llama 3. And in this video, we are going to be seeing how you can actually install it locally, and we are going to test it out on different benchmarks together. Llama 3, which has just been released yesterday, has already beaten a lot of other models on various benchmarks. This model is actually a collection of pre-trained and instruction-tuned generative text models, and it is available in 8 billion and 70 billion sizes. After locally installing the model on our system, we are going to be testing this model on 5 different benchmarks. Firstly, we are going to test its coding capabilities. Then we will test its mathematics or computational power. The third benchmark is going to be its knowledge of English. For the fourth benchmark, we are going to test it with some logical reasoning questions, and then finally we are going to see how it acts as a language translator. Now let's quickly go ahead and see how you can actually install this model locally on your system. So here's the official model card of this model on the Hugging Face. You can see that it is a graded model, and in order to use it, you first need to get access for it by registering yourself. I've already done that, so you can see that you have been granted access to the model. So you simply have to fill a form which is below on this page, and after providing the information and submitting the form, after a few minutes or a few hours, you will be granted access to the model. Now let's see how you can actually install it. For that, I have created a new folder just to open the terminal inside it, and here I'm gonna run all the commands that will install this model locally. So firstly, there are some prerequisites that you must meet in order to install the model, which is to install the latest version of the transformers and torch. So let's go ahead and do it. Firstly, I'm going to run the command pip install transformers, and if you already have transformers library, then you need to upgrade it using the command -- upgrade instead of simply running pip install transformers. Hit enter and you will see that it will start downloading and installing the updated version of this package. Once this is done, now we are going to add our next library, which is the torch. So here, instead of transformers, I'm going to run the command pip install torch -- upgrade, hit enter, and it will start downloading and installing all the necessary libraries needed for this package. Alright, so once this is done, now for the next step, we need to write the actual code which will install the model, and for that we need to have the interpreter. So in order to have the interpreter, I'm going to run the command python 3, hit enter, and I'm going to move inside the interpreter. This is where I'm going to run all the commands to load the model. As I've already mentioned that the model requires transformers and the torch packages. So firstly, I'm going to import the transformers package by using import transformers. Then similarly, I'm going to import torch as well. And since the model is present on the Hugging Face, so we need to set the Hugging Face token in order to use it. So for that, I'm going to import the Hugging Face folder from the huggingface.hf.api. Okay, I forgot to write the hub here. So let's write the command again. This time I'm going to write from huggingface_hub.hf.api, import the hf folder. Hit enter, and you can see that now it is accepting it. Then the next command will be to save the token. For that, we are going to use hffolder.saveToken function, and inside which we are going to pass the Hugging Face token. So if you already don't have the token, then you have to go to your Hugging Face account, click on this image right here, and it will provide you different options. Go to the settings. Once you're inside the settings, from the left navigation menu, you have the option for the access tokens. Click on it, and either you can use any existing token, or you can simply click on the new token button right here. Provide a name to your token, select the type. I have kept mine to be red, and then simply click on generate a token. Once you do that, a new token by the name which you have provided will be created. So simply copy that token from here, add back to your terminal, and then inside these single quotes, you have to paste the token. After that, simply hit enter and your Hugging Face token will be saved. Once this is done, now we need to set the model ID, and the model ID is going to be actually the name of the model which you want to load from the Hugging Face, and this is the model which is Meta Llama 3 8 billion instruct model. Hit enter and it will be saved inside the model ID. Now we are going to create the actual pipeline which will load the model. For that, you have to run these lines of code. Once you hit enter, you will see that it will start downloading and installing different safe tensors that are needed in order to load the model. And you can see that each model is around 4.98 gigs, so it will take quite some time in order to load all the tensors. The installation ran into some issue, so I've ran this command once again, and here Instead of device equal to auto, I've changed the device to CUDA, and once I run it, you can see that all the tensors were successfully downloaded and it has successfully executed. Once this is done, we are going to create the messages conversation between the user and the system. For that, I'm going to create a messages list that will contain 2 conversation chats. First is for the system, where the content is that you are a helpful AI assistant, and from the user's perspective, I'm going to ask it, who are you? We'll hit enter and it will be saved inside the messages. And this is actually the message template which we are saving in order to run the model. Once the conversation template is created, now we need to put it inside a tokenizer, and for that I'm going to run these commands. I'm going to create pipeline.tokenizer.apply chat template, and the chat template is actually this messages array which we have created, and add generation prompt is set to true. Hit enter and it will be saved for the configuration. One thing that you should remember is that Llama 3 requires special tokens for the tokenizer which you have to define on your own. So in order to do that, I'm going to run this command. I'm creating terminators inside which I'm using pipeline.tokenizers.eos token ID. And for the pipeline.tokenizer.convert tokens, I'm converting it into EOT. Once this is done, hit enter and it will set the tokenizer for our prompt. And then finally, we are going to run all this conversation along with the prompt that contains the chat template. And for that, I'm going to run the pipeline that contains the prompt, the max tokens, EOS token ID, temperature, and top P. Hit enter and you will see that it will set the pad token ID equal to EOS token ID. And yeah, everything is working fine. Now the only thing that we have is to get a response from this output. And to do so, I'm simply going to print outputs arrays index 0 generated text and the prompt length. So our question was that who are you, and now it will generate the response for us once we execute this command. So hit enter and you can see that in just a matter of a single second, it provided me the answer that I am delighted to announce myself. I am Llama, helpful AI assistant, etc, etc. So this worked absolutely fine. Now I'm going to test it for some other scenarios as well. For that, I'm going to clear my screen. So once again, I'm going to define the prompt in the form of messages. I'm going to ask it that you are a helpful Python developer, and then I will ask it to write a code in Python to check whether a number is even or odd. Hit enter, it will be saved inside the messages, and similarly, I'll perform all the other steps which I have previously performed. Firstly, we will enclose it inside a tokenizer. Then we will define the special token for the tokenizer. Then we will enclose all the information inside the pipeline and run it, which will be saved inside the outputs. And then finally, we are going to print the response. Hit enter and you can see that within a second, it generated a Python program to check whether the number is even or odd, and it is absolutely correct. And in addition to providing the code, it is also provided us a brief description of how the code performs. Now, in order to test its coding capabilities, I'm gonna run a few other prompts on it. This time, I'm gonna ask it to complete this code, which is actually for calculating the factorial of a number. Then all other steps will be the same. And then finally, we are gonna print the response. Hit enter. And you can see that within a second, it generated the response for us, and it completed the code for which we provided only the function header. And it has also provided us a brief description that this function uses recursion to calculate the factorial of a given number. You can see that its code generation capability is absolutely great, along with the code completion capability as well. Now let's test it out with another example. This time I'm going to prompt it to create a Python code for the tic-tac-toe game. Hit enter and it will be saved inside the messages. All other steps will be the same. And then we will simply print the response. And you can see that within a second, it started providing us the code, but we have set the max tokens to be 253. That is why it was unable to generate the entire response for us. So now I'm going to run these commands once again, but this time with a large number of max new tokens. You can see that this time I have set the tokens to be 1000. Once all of these commands are executed, simply print the response. And you can see that this time it has provided us the complete code for the tic-tac-toe game. Now let's go ahead and test it out. I've pasted the entire code inside my VS Code, and apparently there are no errors inside the code. So let's go ahead and run it. Okay, so you can see that it ran without any errors, and it is asking for the move. So for the player 1, I'm going to enter 1. For the player 2, I'm going to enter 2. Then again for the player 1, I'm going to enter 5. For the player 2, I'm going to enter 3. And then finally for the player 1, I'm going to enter 9. And you can see that it completed the game, and it says that player 1 wins. So you can see that in just a matter of a single second, it created the entire code for the tic-tac-toe game, which was absolutely correct. And in addition to just being correct, it was also error-free and ran without any errors. So up till now, it is absolutely correctly satisfying all the benchmarking questions. Now let's see if it is able to convert the code from one language to another. For that, I am going to provide it the prompt that complete this code in Python language, and it is actually a linear search function which is in C++ language. Hit enter to run all the commands at once. And then finally, we are going to simply print the response. And you can see that it has not only completed the code, but it has also converted the code into the Python language. And all of this was done in almost less than a single second, which is really cool because the code is absolutely correct and it has converted it into the required language as well. Now, I'm going to test out some calculations which it can perform or not. For that, firstly, I'm going to ask it, I'm going to say that you are a helpful C++ and Python and maths expert, and then I will ask it what is the factorial of 5. Let's see how it responds. So it is setting the pad token ID to US token ID. Then once all of the commands are done, then we will simply print the response. And you can see that the moment I hit enter, it generated the response for me, and it has provided the code for calculating the factorial in different ways and in different languages, and it has provided us the output to be 120. And all of this was done in just a matter of seconds. And the output too was absolutely correct. Now I'm going to test it with another prompt. This time I'm going to ask it that a person crosses a 600-meter long street in 5 minutes. What is his speed in kilometer per hour? And then simply I'm going to print the response. And you can see that the moment I hit enter, it generated the response, and it has provided us the entire calculation of how it reached to the answer. So it says that the person's speed is 7.2 kilometers per hour, which is absolutely correct. For the next example, I'm going to ask it that what is this equation equals to. Once this is done, now I'm simply going to print the response. It is provided the result to be 5 and it is wrong. And let's see where it made the mistake. So firstly, it is solving the parenthesis, which is correct. 4 minus 3 is 1. Then it is performing the division, which is 8 divided by 4 is 2. Here it is correct. Then it is performing multiplication. Yeah, according to the Pedman's rule, 5 into 1 is 5. So we have solved this part and we have solved this entire equation. So this leaves us to 2, 3, 2 and 5. So here it is adding 2, 3 and 5, which is the result of the multiplication, which leaves us to this part, which is 2. But it has left this part, it says the answer to be 10, and then it has again subtracted 5 from it. And here it made the mistake, so the output is wrong. Now I'm going to test out its knowledge in English. For that, I'm going to prompt it that you are a helpful English expert, write a poem about the sea. Once all of these commands are executed, I'm simply going to print the response, and the moment I hit enter, you will see that it has generated this beautiful poem on sea. Let's test out the next prompt. This time I'm going to ask it to complete the analogy. Odometer is to mileage as compass is to. Hit enter and you can see that it gives the answer that odometer is to mileage as compass is to direction. It is absolutely correct. Now I'm going to test out with some logical reasoning questions. Firstly, I'm going to ask it that pointing to a photograph, a man said, I have no brother and that man's father is my father's son. So whose photograph was it? Once all the commands are executed, I'm simply going to print the response and it has provided us the answer. And you can see that it has break down the problem. It says the man says, I have no brother, which means he's only child. He says that the man's father is my father's son. Since the man is the only child, his father has no other sons, and this leads us to the conclusion that the photograph is of the man's son, and which is absolutely correct. For the next example, I am going to provide it the prompt where there is a series of letters, and I'm asking it to find the missing letters. Once these commands are executed, I'm simply going to print the response, and you can see it has provided us the answer to be these 3 values, and it is wrong. And then finally, I'm going to test its knowledge of different languages. So I'm going to ask it to translate this sentence into English, and let's see if it is able to do it or not. Hit enter and you can see that within a second it provided us the answer that the translation is, I introduce myself, my name is Llama3. This is absolutely correct. So as you have seen that out of many benchmarking questions which I asked to it from different categories, it was able to answer most of the questions, almost 90% of them. And that too was done in just a matter of a single second. And the code generation ability of this model is absolutely spot on because everything was done so quickly and in the correct manner, and that too error-free. So I'll highly encourage all of you to try out this model for yourself and let me know in the comments what you think about it. But that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.